Trapping plays a very important role in modern-day wildlife management. Professional wildlife biologists monitor fur-bearer populations to maintain a healthy and sustainable harvest of this important, renewable natural resource. Trapping provides recreation and income for licensed trappers across this country. Hoosier Trapper Outdoors is brought to you by Hoosier Trapper Supply. J3 Outdoors, manufacturer of the Hags Bracket and Body Trap Spring Clip. Leatherwood Creek Trapping Scents. Weeby Knives and Fur Handling Tools. HTS Productions. Hoosier Trapper Deer Scents. And Leatherwood Wildlife Art.
All right. Thanks for joining us for this episode 6 of Hoosier Trapper Outdoors. On this episode, we'll be in New Mexico, so this will be our first show for New Mexico. When we get done with our New Mexico footage, then we'll go to our semi-live footage, which will be local trapping here in central Indiana before work. So it'll be a trap line that a lot of us can identify with. It's how a lot of us trap. And it'll be, some of it will just be within a few days of when it was actually filmed to when it's actually released. So that's why we call it semi-live. So we're looking forward to bringing you that. But I hope you enjoyed the New Mexico footage because it's pretty cool too. Completely different than obviously most of us trap or run into that type of geography. So anyways, one thing I want to mention is the rendezvous that we had on September 28th. It was absolutely awesome, and the weather more than cooperated. It was just an awesome day. We had a huge crowd, bigger than we've had for a few years. We always have a good crowd, but this one was even bigger than usual. So a lot of great comments, a lot of great follow-up on that. I want to say that it's got a real, even though we call it a Trapper's Rendezvous, it's got a real festival feel to it. So pretty unique to the trapping industry, and certainly we can, I think, maintain our largest one-day trapping event in the country by what we just accomplished. So anyways, I appreciate everybody coming out, and I hope and think all of you had a good time, and we're looking forward to doing it again next year. Lastly here, I want to mention that I really appreciate all the orders that all of you have placed. If you haven't checked out our website, you might check it out at HoosierTrapperSupply.com. It's new, it's easy to maneuver, it's easy to find what you need. And if you can't do that, or if you don't want to do that, just give us a call on the phone. We'll be glad to help you over the phone with an order or whatever. So anyways, hope you enjoy the show. Setting this ranch up, Adrian hooked us up. So
Privately down here in some private ground.
Yeah, private ground, big private ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
We won't set it all, that's for sure.
Several tens of thousands of acres, let's put it that way. So we're excited about it. This is our first stop. We've set, actually we put 5 traps in here.
6.
So yeah, we've got it pretty well covered, I think. So you had a carcass over here?
Yes, right in the trees over there I put scraps from a butcher.
Mm-hmm. And it's all gone.
It's gone. I was hoping at least a bone or something.
So that indicates that there's stuff here that drug that off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's better than it just not
Be
being
still
touched.
there.
Yeah. So anyways, we're like I said, setting up. First day, looks very promising. Of course, beautiful country here in New Mexico. We've got to get our eastern lungs acclimated to this thin air, but other than that, excited. I'm excited about the prospects of this trip.
So, a lot of potential here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, let's see what we can do.
The ranch manager is like stuff needs to be eliminated. So he's between the predation on elk and calves both. He wants his stuff under control. So yeah. So, anyways, see how the next few days play out.
Here's the other leg to that bull.
All right, here's the deal. We've got a 2-track going this way. The trucks are on a 2-track. We've got some minimal sign here. Up on top of the hill, there was quite a bit of sign. We did set that up. So this wind is changing. It's weird, but we're gonna set one here. We're gonna set one on right there, and then on the other side of the trucks, we're gonna set another one. So we'll have this intersection completely covered. So whatever they do, whatever the wind's doing, we'll have it covered.
How do you like working in this dirt?
Other than the occasional rock, it's awesome because it's almost like working in a sandy flour compared to home, which would just be a big glop of mud. So it's refreshing to come out here and deal with this. And of course, our last trip in Arkansas was pure mud too. But because of the hills and mountains out there, at least we could avoid sitting in water. So, but you know, that snow, they had a lot of snow here 3 or 4 weeks ago. But it's so dry and so arid that a lot of areas are still very dry. I mean, there's a lot of dust when you drive down the road, so it's kind of nice to be able to come out here and do this in these conditions. Hopefully we don't get hung up in some bad weather later in the week, so I don't think we will, but the way it sounds.
Hoping for a double or triple at this intersection.
That's the plan.
We wouldn't set it if we didn't think it could happen.
Nope.
All right, still setting traps. First day setting out here. I'll tell you, it's a good thing that we weren't out here when all that snow was going on, because we would have been stuck, assuming we could have even got here. And there's still remnants of snow on the north-facing sides of these mountains. So, anyways, it's dry unless you're in an area where the water's seeping out of the sides of the mountains or whatever, which makes it nice. And generally, I don't think we have to worry about freeze up this week. So, for the next several days, longer than a week. But anyways, we're still punching sets in and marking them on the GPS. Thank goodness for GPS. I'll tell you, that's a lifesaver. So you know, this is completely different geography than we have at home. This is the 4th trip that we've made to New Mexico, but we've been on 4 different pieces of property every time. Obviously, this is the 4th new piece of property. This is private ranch. It's not obviously not open to the public, so that's kind of nice. And we also we can set on the roads here, whereas on public you can't set on the roads, which is a definite advantage. So I mean, we'll see how all this works out. But it's big country. We've got animals that have big home ranges, and we'll be dealing with, you know, waiting them out, them coming through, that kind of thing. So we're not super spread out if you look at the GPS, so we're going to work on getting more spread out as far as where our locations are that are set. But obviously this first day we're just, you know, making a line. That's what we're doing. So tomorrow morning, check traps, start setting again until it gets dark. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing.
Something you don't see every day while you're out trapping. Petroglyphs. There's one there. Pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
There's some over here I can show you guys real quick. If I can find them again. Yeah, right here. Pretty awesome. And it's all down the side of this whole area. You can see there's a snake.
some sort of circles representing something, maybe the sun or never know what you'll find trapping. Pretty cool area. Maybe that will give us some good luck to catch a bobcat along here. We'll find out.
Justin and Jake acting foolish up there. All right, ended set day 1, and we set up 17 different stops or locations. So I'm not exactly sure on the trap count. Quite a few. Each location had as little as 2, and one of them had as high as like 6. But generally, we're 3-4 traps per location. Kind of where we were at on that. It's been an awesome day. I mean, we saw those petroglyphs and you know, just
The weather's been great.
yeah,
Soil's been decent to work with.
yeah, it's been very decent actually. Yeah, so
So
not too many muddy spots or whatever. So at all.
and we're seeing a fair amount of tracks and sign, unlike, you know, previous times we've been out here. And it's always hard because the ground gets hard and rocky. It's hard to see the bobcat track right now.
Especially.
Yeah, there's
Especially the
so
cat.
much ground that a cat could walk on and never leave a trace that he was there. You know. So.
Yeah. But we did catch on to the coyote tracks pretty decently this time.
Mhm.
So I got high hopes for the next few days.
Yeah.
And tomorrow. So.
You know, they got a big home range, and this is big country, so that's obviously working against us. You know, so
Just have to wait them out.
yeah, wait them out. See what happens with the gray fox. Surely there's some gray foxes here.
There's quite a bit.
So we like catching those guys too. So
Adrian actually was already in here for a small section, just keeping the rancher happy, getting some predators taken out here beforehand. But he did catch a cat and what else?
A few coyotes and gray fox. There was plenty. Big ones too. I was surprised on the size.
yeah, that picture
So-
you sent us, that one was good. Like the thing been eating some sheep.
So knowing that there's animals running definitely makes me feel good about tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely helps out. So all right, see what happens tomorrow.
I've been a professional trapper for over 40 years, and in that time, I've skinned literally thousands of animals. I've learned that it doesn't matter how cool a knife looks on your hip. What really matters is sharpness and reliability. And that's why I created the Weeby Wicked Sharp line of replacement blade knives. These are knives that will quickly skin your critters without skinning your wallet. Visit WeebyKnives.com to get the new Monarch folding knife with 3 replacement blades for just $19.95. Weeby Knives, Wicked Sharp.
Leatherwood Trapping Sense. Success speaks for itself.
All right, check day 2. We didn't even film check day 1 because we blanked out completely. We had 2 tentative visits, and that was it yesterday. This is our 3rd stop this morning, so 4th, I mean. So it obviously connected on this gray. Nice heavy furred gray fox, so dandy. We got a lot of traps to check. We've got a lot of locations. We probably doubled our line yesterday, so we're close to it. So we'll take this. It's certainly a good way to start out the day. We've got a beautiful sunny day and pretty good brisk wind going right at the moment. But anyways, good way to start out.
The snow is here.
Oh, get a rope. This plastic piece, I don't even know why this stupid thing's on there to begin with.
Are you gonna take it off?
Yeah.
Trapping body work at its best.
Like I said, I never liked that on there anyways.
Just throw it behind the truck. It'll be all right. There's plenty of room there.
Yeah.
Well, we still don't need to do that every day.
Yeah, that's because then that bumper's gonna be next.
Yeah. Did you see where my hitch was dragging into? It's like one of those
Marking his turf.
claws they use behind a bulldozer.
Ripper, scraper.
Yeah, those rippers.
All right,
Maybe
try it at that other windmill. Water.
yeah, by the windmill and go up, and maybe we'll go up there and set some. It's funny that snow squall came through here and looked pretty impressive. And I think it's gonna come through again. But.
Yeah, that's how it is. Like a lot of people say, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, what do you think, Jake?
Pretty cool. First New Mexico cat. Mine personally, end of the trip. Yesterday was a little discouraging, but this is
Yeah.
a good note. Check day 2.
Yeah, gray fox and a Jake connected on this dandy cat here.
Yep. Pretty cool.
Where was your set at?
Just right down here behind the cat. There, little piece of wood is backing, and it's not even that torn up. He got out of there pretty quick, so. And he's peeing back there. It's got nice fresh scent.
I imagine top dog, right?
Yep, top dog, Vicks Elixir, and a little bit of long distance.
All right, this is the cat that Jake just caught, and you know, we were just in Arkansas a month ago, and it's just so hard to believe the difference in these cats. And they're both
Night and
bobcats. They're both very fun to catch, but this is over the top. These things are awesome. You can bury your hand in the fur, and it's crazy. Awesome animal. Blowing away out there?
It's crazy.
Man, it is windy. I think those gusts are probably 45, 50 miles an hour, I bet, at least.
Easy.
They are wind. It is windy. We've had snow squalls to sunshine, but it's been windy all day.
As long as it's, like we said, we were talking earlier, at night, as long as it's calmed down when the animals are moving, that's
Right.
the best.
Yeah, when it's like this, they can't smell anything. I mean, you know, it's just...
And they usually, because they bed up.
Yeah.
You've noticed, the prey will hide.
Right,
You know.
right. So, anyways, check day 2, winding down. We may set another location or two. It depends on how enthused we get with this wind. But it'll be dark soon. But anyways,
It gets cold quick.
yeah,
Colder.
It get much colder. Yeah, and that wind's blowing. So I got a cold front coming through. I think it's supposed to be real cold tomorrow.
Yes.
Or much colder, and then it'll start to warm back up. But so a gray fox and a bobcat today. Jake pulled it out of the the bag and caught that cat. So, anyways, good day.
If we could get a bobcat a day like that one,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then you just pull the straw out real easily, and when it's frozen, then you put the tag in.
You're not there all day trying to.
Right. It'll pull out when it's frozen because it's slick, and then stick the tag in and good to go. So.
Hags Trapping Products by J3 Outdoors, the most versatile and efficient trapping devices on the market.
Hoosier Trapper Deer Sense. Success speaks for itself.
Okay, product highlight. Our black gold predator lure, curiosity type lure. And this lure is based on the beaver caster muskrat gland mix, which is a 50-50 mix in the old time formulas. Nobody can afford to put that in a lure bottle. Would far exceed the retail value, that most lures sell for. Just costs too much, particularly the muskrat glands. Even beaver casters got quite high. So working off of that idea is how I came about with this formula here. So anyways, it's like I said, it's curiosity lure. It would be great. It's great the majority of the season. If it's incredibly cold out, you may want to go to something stronger in smell. But in that incredibly cold weather, it would also be very appropriate as a remake lure. So when you've caught a coyote or a fox or a bobcat and it smells like that animal, this would be very appropriate as a lure to use in that scenario, because that set smells like that animal. And this does not contain any parts from a bobcat, a fox, or a coyote. So that would be completely foreign to that set circle. So to add all that curiosity to it. So it'd be awesome in that scenario. One thing about the black gold, it is a pasty type lure. So it's also appropriate as a rub lure that coyotes, fox, and bobcats will rub on. So it's excellent for that case as well. And that's why it's in the wider mouth jar. So anyways, if you haven't given it a shot, you might give it a try. So, all right, question and answer. So got a question about wearing leather gloves and boots, which is what we typically do. We're wearing rubber boots if it's really muddy or whatever, but if it's dry, we're wearing leather boots. I always wear leather gloves. You know, back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, everybody was very, very conscious about scent. Very conscious about wearing rubber gloves, rubber boots. You know, it got crazy. Guys were even wearing hip boots, that kind of thing. And that's fine, but it's really just not necessary. Whatever you do with a coyote, this is specifically with land trapping, whatever you do with a coyote, they know that you've been there. And in most cases, generally, coyotes are used to human scent and are around human scent on a daily basis. So, you know, get your set made. Don't roll around on the ground. Be practical about it. But there's nothing wrong with wearing rubber glove or leather gloves. I wouldn't use them to go, you know, fix an engine or anything, but keep them specific for trapping. I do wear a separate pair of gloves to put my lure and bait on with, but leather gloves just give you a lot better feel. You can buy them to fit versus rubber gloves that sometimes they're a little bulkier and they want to get hung up in the trap, you know, when you're setting it, that kind of thing. So, like I said, scent control is important to a limited to a point, but to go over the top is just not necessary. So wear what's comfortable and keep it clean, you know, when you're not trapping. Another question we had is how many traps are appropriate for 100 acres? And I mean, that's a little difficult to answer, but generally, you know, if you're on 100 acres, there might be, you know, 2 or 3 kind of travel corridors, or there might only be one, or there might not be any. Depends on what the terrain gives you. So if say you had a 100-acre bean field, which was within a huge agricultural tract, so then you're going to have to look for some crop change up. In other words, from beans to corn that maybe would create a travel way, that kind of thing. So, but if you've got a couple, 3 different creeks running through, and you've got some farm bridges, and then you've got some woodlot edges, you know, you might be able to stick in a dozen sets. So it's difficult to answer that question specifically exactly, because all geography varies and all situations vary. So, but I would say the maximum on 100 acres would be 12 traps if you're coyote trapping, and probably generally you're going to be in the 4 to 6 to 8 trap range, and that's going to more than cover it. There's this idea of trapping against yourself. So if you set up a farm like that, and you got, say, 4 to 6, 8 sets on it, and then you just go right down the road a half mile, and you've got another permission on a farm, and you do the same thing there. Those are all the same coyotes. So the same coyotes that you're on this other farm are the ones that are on the next farm. So, or the place that you have that's close by. So at some point, you know, you're going to catch the coons that maybe don't travel a mile. They can, but you can catch the coons and that kind of thing. But when it comes to coyotes, you know, they're traveling a big area, and you are literally trapping against yourself. So all of us are limited by the permission that we have and the areas that we can trap. But do keep that in mind when it comes to you know, how many traps you set and how close your properties are together. All right, last question. Someone wrote to us, and it's a good question. If you don't know, you don't know, and it's you know, some that you know, bears answering. What's the difference between sun rendered fish oil and fish juice? And basically, when you're making sun-rendered fish juice, fish oil, the process is essentially the same. So you're cutting up fish, putting it in a gallon jug or whatever you're making it in, covering it with water, and putting it in the sun and let it render down. So obviously it's nasty, rank smelling stuff. So and it's good on its own merit, but it can be mixed with things or whatever. About anything will check it out in the area of predators or raccoons. Mink, not so much, too rank. But the difference between fish juice and fish oil, okay, when you make that, there will be a very dark, somewhat clear oil that will float to the top, and that's the actual oil. And in the scheme of things, there's very little of that produced in that rotted down jug or container. If you've got cold water fish like salmon and trout, and you're rotting that down, then it will have considerably more oil than, say, game fish or whatever that you may be making it out of, the scraps. So generally, when you buy fish juice, that is all of that rotted material that is below the oil, and then typically then the oil may be sold separately, or it may just be a small amount and it's just included in what you're buying. But generally, when you're buying sun-rendered fish juice, fish oil, it's you're buying basically that rotted material that is all broken down. So that's the difference. And like I said, you can use it on its own merit, or you can mix it with something else if you're making it yourself. But basically, just chopping up fish, or using the byproduct after you've cleaned fish, put it in a jar, cover it with water, set it in the sun. Generally, you've 6 months or so, and you've got something really good going. Maybe even quicker than that. If you say June, got the heat of all the summer, and it's probably ready to go maybe in September or October. Just kind of depends on the scenario. So, anyways, hope that clears that up.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We have the new Hoosier Trapper Supply catalogs out. Pretty cool bobcat there. Jake caught there in New Mexico. Pretty nice. They're available. You can call here at the shop at 317-881-3075, or you can request one online at HoosierTrapperSupply.com. It's right there on the home page. Hit the button, and we'll send you one in the mail. So, pretty slick. Also, gotta say, make sure you're following us on all social media so you can keep up to date. We do have an email newsletter you can sign up for on the website as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, obviously YouTube. And on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, so that will keep you posted on brand new episodes that pop up. Not just on Hoosier Trapper Outdoors, but also on the Fur Shed series and also the Trap House podcast. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Join us on October 25th for the next episode of Hoosier Trapper Outdoors.